Nope. 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 This week on the channel, I review your picks for the top non-alcoholic stage drinks. What's going on, everybody? Adam here. Hope you're doing well. So earlier this week, I asked sober musicians what their picks were for their favorite non-alcoholic drinks. Now, there's a number of reasons why musicians opt to not imbibe alcohol when performing. There are plenty of personal reasons, but there's also professional reasons and limitations to certain situations that make it not an ideal option. One of the bigger reasons is that a lot of us during the summer season play outside, and alcohol tends to dehydrate people. What was really interesting, though, is that I got thousands of responses. So I figured that it might be a good idea to try a couple of these things out and just tell you what I think. Now, the number one suggestion out of all of them, of course, was just plain water. And if you're going to be drinking water and taking it to shows, I would suggest getting one of these. Just a standard reusable water bottle. I got this one off of Amazon. I'll go ahead and put a link for that in the show notes. Some other suggestions were things like coffee. This is a nice coffee from this morning. And I got a couple of weird ones that I'll talk about in a little bit. On the other side are things that I would consider alcohol or cocktail adjacent. For some musicians, they prefer to go to the bar and get something that looks like a drink that somebody would buy at the bar. If you are a club or bar musician, ultimately your job is related to selling alcohol for that venue. So it would make sense to get something that not only looks like an alcoholic beverage, but also uses the kinds of ingredients that you would get at a bar. Some examples of that might be soda water with lime, cranberry juice watered down, typically made of the normal mixers that you would find at most bars. On the other side, you have things like sparkling water and non-alcoholic beers. Now, this is kind of tricky because not all bars carry all the same kind of things, but I wanted to go through a few of your suggestions and give you my thoughts on them. So I'm going to start with my first pick, which is the sparkling Liquid Death. Now, I have not been bashful. If you catch me on social media, I talk about Liquid Death all the time. Their whole deal is basically to sell water that looks like beer so that guys like us would drink it. And I also like the level of carbonation they put in it. It's got a similar mouthfeel to something that you would expect from a beer. So let's go ahead and give this one a shot. I can't drink something like a Topo Chico because it's too carbonated. This is like the perfect amount. But recently they've gotten into the flavored sparkling water market, typically in the space that like LaCroix would take up. So this is one that I just bought today. This is their severed lime flavor. I've never had this one before. I've had a couple of their other flavors. I really liked the mango chainsaw one. The berry one I wasn't super wild about. So here is the Liquid Death sparkling severed lime flavor. Wow. I would say the flavoring is very citrus forward. Sometimes I kind of feel like when you get a sparkling water, you're like trying to envision the flavor as like a person walking by a lime or somebody daydreaming about what a lime might taste like. This one is a bit more intense. And personally, I feel like it's got a similar vibe and mouthfeel to what you would get from like a White Claw. It feels more like a hard seltzer would when drinking it. This would be something that I could easily crush a couple during a gig and not think twice about. So this one is definitely one of my picks. Oh, that's good. By the way, none of this is sponsored. I'm just doing this because I thought it would be fun. But Liquid Death, if you are watching this, I would gladly take an endorsement. Hit me up. Okay, now let's move on to the non-alcoholic beers. This is kind of a touchy subject because to me, the flavor of beer is the thing that makes beer good. But I know that in the past few years, this market has exploded and there are a lot of competitors in the marketplace. So hopefully the flavor and experience has improved as well. I remember trying O'Doul's back in the day and I remember it being really, really not pleasurable to ingest. So hopefully we're not going through that again today. So I'm going to start on the outside here with this Becks Non Alcoholic. Let's see here. Does it have a... No, it doesn't. Hold on one second. This job calls for my handy dandy carbon fiber bottle opener. If you don't have one of these, get one. All right, let's see what we got here. So didn't really kind of make much of a noise when I opened it. Hopefully it's got some carbonation into it. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So it's got that kind of skunky smell that German beer Beck specifically has, but it's sweet. To me, it tastes like the way that I used to make Wheaties when I was a kid, where you just like pour a bunch of sugar on top. That's what this feels like to me. It's not bad, but I don't drink this and go, oh, beer. This just tastes like sweet bread water. I don't know. Undecided on this one. Moving along. Since I started with a German beer, let's go with another import. This is Heineken 0.0. Nice foaminess to it. It's like a real beer. Let's see what we got. Okay, this almost tastes like beer to me. It's got the same kind of character and flavor profile that Heineken normally does. And Heineken's not a beer that I would normally drink, but it feels like a beer should feel. I'm not getting a lot of off notes or the sweetness like the Becks had. As far as fake beer goes, I think this is our front runner right now. All right, moving along. Now, lagers and lighter beers may be easier to facsimile as far as non-alcoholic options go, but I did get 2 suggestions for an IPA style beer, and so I have these 2 to work with. The first one is made by Samuel Adams. This is Just the Haze, Hazy Non-Alcoholic IPA. Now, I'm a fan of Hazy IPA, so I'm a little nervous about this one. All right, it smells just like a normal IPA would. We're off to a good start. Okay, so it's got some sweetness to it, but not in a way that's unfamiliar to people who like IPAs. So I'm really impressed by this, actually. The Sam Adams may have knocked the Heineken off its post. Yeah, it's got a good finish to it. I think a lot of these have this weird finish at the end that doesn't really like work with the whole beer experience, but this one's pretty close. Front runner currently. All right, last of my non-alcoholic beers, I've got a Brew Dog. This is Hazy AF. This is their take on a Hazy IPA. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, this one's already off. It's got like a metallic smell to it. Let's see what we got. Nope. Nope. That metallic flavor carries over, but there's also like a wateriness to it that just does not work at all. I've heard good things about Brew Dog, and I'm a little disappointed because I know that's primarily what they're trying to do, but compared to all the other ones I've just tried, this one does not work. I'm gonna put these in order real quick. In the world of non-alcoholic beers, this is my ranking. Sam Adams is the best, almost identical IPA kind of experience. Heineken 0.0, very good, close to the normal light beer import kind of experience. The Becks is okay, but too sweet for my personal taste as far as what I'm looking for with this kind of beer. And then the Brew Dog Hazy AF IPA, I'm not getting the haziness, I'm not getting any of the sweetness that I'm used to with that kind of beer. So it does not, no, I do not recommend this one. So one other beverage came up more than once and I was kind of interested to figure out what it was all about. And it's this one. This is made by a company called Ribena? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I had to go to the international section of my supermarket to find one. And this is a black currant beverage of some kind. Some people were saying you just drink it straight up out of the bottle. Other people say you mix it with water. We're gonna see what it's like. It didn't fizz and I was kind of worried about that, but it's got like one of these pull tabs. So we'll see if it fizzes now. Okay, sort of. So black currant, I'm expecting like a cherry kind of fruity flavor. Ooh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that is real sweet. Too sweet. Oh, man. Directions for use. Maybe read the bottle. Dilute 1 part with at least 4 parts water. Maybe I should do that.
Approximately 10 hours later.
All right, let's see what we got here. So I guess I'll pour a little bit of this in a glass. Maybe a little more. And then we're gonna use the non-flavored sparkling liquid death. I like the color, it looks nice. Let's give it a shot. So it's better. There's like a tartness and a bitterness to it that are happening kind of at the same time that I'm just like not particularly into. This is clearly a regional kind of thing. This is definitely not the flavor profile that I am accustomed to, but I could see how drinking something like this would kind of fill that, let's say, cranberry juice cocktail kind of vibe. Yeah, that's not for me. All right, folks, there you have it. Those are your picks for the top non-alcoholic beverages to drink on stage. What is your favorite thing to drink when you're not drinking alcohol when you're performing? Leave a comment below and let me know. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We post new videos here every single Friday. Also, if you're digging our content and would like to support us, consider checking out our Patreon. We just revamped our tiers, and there are a bunch of really great ways for you to meet other people who are trying to do the same thing that you're doing, which is make great money playing music. Have an awesome week, and I'll see you next time.